Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Mystic Mayhem. I guess this is kind of like a bit of a part 2 to the Fantastic Four that I put out the video before. There has been some changes to the Invisible Woman. Her ultimate has been altered. I do want to show the part on the Discord where they talked about that, so I just want to jump over here and kind of share with you guys what was going on. So we apologize for the inconvenience caused by a recently discovered bug affecting the Invisible Woman. An error in the energy cost of her skill Full Transparency inadvertently allowed for the possibility of infinite invisibility. After careful consideration, we made the difficult decision to address the issue immediately. So this is her ultimate skill. It was originally at an energy cost of 200, and now it's boosted up to 300. My guess is because with ultimate energy generation, artifacts, things like this, it would be way too quickly, and her invisibility lasts for 10 seconds. And so I think people were using this back to back to back in some instances. And so I guess they had to nerf this because, or not nerf this, or change it, I guess, because of how it works. Probably in PvP. Honestly, I know PvP is not a big thing in the game right now, but it's probably something to consider for the future. This fix has been implemented, I think like an hour ago as of recording this anyways, but this video is going to go out a little bit later. Anyways, they are going to be sending everyone out 5 great keys. Now, I have not received this yet, but that is something that is going to be coming. And also, if you pulled on the Invisible Woman banner, that you are going to be getting 15 Dream Gems in addition to every key that you drew. Only if you did it before this was discovered. So do keep that in mind as well. Let's just jump back to the game here. So I didn't pull on Invisible Woman. I still don't think I'm going to pull an Invisible Woman. I'm going to do what I said in the original video from the last video, and I'm going to be waiting for Mr. Fantastic and Thing on that banner. But I did go through the storyline, which is pretty cool. One thing that I do want to say about this game is that it's a really cool user interface for the story. I did decide to do that, so we did the first, it has to do with Spider-Man and Moon Girl, who are basically going through the story a little bit here, and you have the Fantastic Four characters trapped in their nightmares. You have the 3 levels for the Human Torch, you have the 3 levels for Invisible Woman, and then you're going to be getting, or we're going to be getting, Mr. Fantastic and the Thing next week. And then we also have the Herbie's Log Battle Pass. Now, you will get Human Torch for free by finishing his campaign, and then later on, when you get to about level 20, you will also get a copy of Thing for free. So both of them are available for free, and I think that's great, right? They're 2 stars. It's not super crazy, but you know, it is nice that they are giving them away for free. And there is going to be lots of copies of this Engage Highlight free to play, which I talked about in the previous video. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about, since I do have Human Torch unlocked, and I have been playing with him a little bit, is his passives in his talent tree, which I believe all of the Fantastic Four members get. So this is their base passive, where if you're using other characters from the team, that you get an increase of a 6 to 12% of attack and defense. I think it counts himself, so you basically just need to run one other character, whether it's Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, or Thing, and you get up to 12% attack and defense boosted there. Now, this is the first time where they've ever had kind of like synergy in this sense, where you kind of need to use the characters together. So it seems like you really just don't want to necessarily use them by themselves. We're going to have to see what the kits for Thing and Mr. Fantastic look like next week, but they are going to be physical-based characters, so do keep that in mind as well. Now, as far as Human Torch's other skills, so his 41 passive, Supernova, that's his ult, deals 20% more damage to enemies in the fire area. That's this, Burning Blast. It sets up a fire circle. We're going to take him into a challenge battle, because now that I've actually got to play with him again, I'm not sure how I feel about him. I kind of feel like this is set up for a PvP team. I feel like him and Invisible Woman are meant for PvP, which is kind of crazy, but, you know, hear me out. So his 61 passive reduces the attack by 10% to all burning enemies. He's going to do some basic attacks. His buff also increases his ignition, or his burning chances, basically to 100%, and he deals more damage to enemies that are burning as well. He has some ultimate energy there too, and his ultimate just does damage. And then it also applies the burning debuff to enemies in that target area. Now, I do want to take a look at a few of the Soul Sagas. Now, I know we're not really pulling for him right now, but some of these are really important. AKA Mind 1, where when enemies with burning are defeated, Human Torch grants 20 ultimate energy. Now he does not have to kill him. It's just if they die, right, with the debuff on. So that's not too bad. Also, Heart 1 makes his buff last for 15 seconds instead of 10. So these are two very good ones to start off with, right? Special damage up by 8%. Now, it's this what kind of made me think that this character is designed for PvP. Enemies in the fire area receive 50% less healing. Now, as I don't think that there's any content right now where healing is a thing in PvE. And so this makes me wonder if this was set up to be like some sort of PvP killer character, which really doesn't make me feel very good because I don't like the PvP to begin with anyways. But I would never, right now, I wouldn't pull a character for PvP because this is like 90% of PvE game. While Mad Heat is active, Human Torch's basic attacks chain to up to 2 additional targets, so that's nice. And then this part here, which is like the final thing, right, which will take ages. For each burning enemy present, Human Torch's attack increases by 10% up to 30%. So if there's 3 characters who are burning. So my impression of Human Torch is that he's like a poor man's Storm, right? Like maybe if that's all you have, you could run Storm and Human Torch together, because that would complement Storm's passive where she does more damage to debuffed enemies. And with the burning, like there's always going to be debuffs. And I'm pretty sure her 61 talent, if I'm not mistaken, does 25% damage to enemies with at least 3 different debuffs. So that'll really help having the burning and her different debuffs that she has to be able to make sure that there is 3 on a target, which sometimes can be hard to do. But for AoE content, like a Dragon Armor, I've been using, which is done now, but I have been using Thor, right? I have Thor, so I just find that he's more consistent in terms of his damage when it comes to Human Torch. Not so much, but that's just my thoughts of this one. Now, I do want to take him into challenge mode. I know he's not like completely maxed out. He is, I'm going to tell you what mine is anyway, 66. I've also been sharing my Striker highlight and my Darkhold and my Gungnir, you know, so it's not perfect, but I do have like a 60% crit rate. Also, the dots can, the per second damage can crit. I have seen that as well. But it does seem that you do want to kind of stack up his attack, because the burning damage per second is kind of based on that. Now, I do have, I don't know why I was looking back and forth. So I don't have it completely maxed out. His skills, it's like 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, and like 5-7 on the buff. But I just want to show, you know, the content anyways, though, and kind of go over that and share with you. I've been doing just some of these challenge missions, something that I can just do, you know, on demand. So I'm going to use Human Torch here. I'm also going to use Dream Queen, and then I'm going to use Juggernaut just as a tank, just because I just want to show, you know, Human Torch. So we're going to just go with the buff. I'm going to put this up to 2x here, just to go a little bit faster, but I'm actually just going to wait. You know, I'm going to wait for this. So he's actually getting more ultimate generation than my Dream Queen. I'm surprised. But I do want to use the Dream Queen skill first. So that's going to give us max. We're going to do... So you want to use Supernova when a circle is already set up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do the ultimate here, right? They should have the burning debuff. Will they not? Why are they not? Okay, they're in the circle, though. So I'm going to see how much damage does this do, right? 20k, right? 20k, and like 18k, because he wasn't in the circle. The damage is okay. The burning damage, you can kind of see it ticking away here, right? So it's doing like 3k crit on the guy in the back there, I'm pretty sure. And then you can see a 3k crit again. So it's not bad, but it's just not on-demand burst damage. And that's what I like about Storm. Also, they have to be in the circle. So if they're not in the circle, it just gets a bit awkward, right? So I'm wondering what the intent is. Maybe you're supposed to use Thing to do some sort of taunting, and then you just like have him put out the circle around Thing, and then that's what it does. Like, I just don't know, like, because if you're not keeping them in the circle, they're going to do a lot less damage, and he's going to do a lot less damage in general. And I guess that's why I like the map-wide damage from Storm. For example, like I said, you could probably use the two of them together, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts. They're going to taunt just to maybe drag them together, do the buff. It's like, maybe that's an idea, is that you're supposed to use a tank and taunt them, and then just kind of do that. That's my thoughts, right? Why can't I get another Human Torch skill? There we go. We're gonna use this anyways. I think that's gonna kill everyone. Juggernaut. Yeah, that did a lot of damage actually. But anyways, like I don't know. I feel like, why can't I get the flame circle? I just wanted to get the flame circle. Can I not get the stupid flame circle? There we go. Okay. So, I don't know, like, I feel like he's not super consistent in his damage, that's all. I don't really have, like, Dragon Armor to test it, though. But there, you can set up the damage. Like, it does decent damage, but again, you're kind of reliant on, like, enemies being in the circle, that's all. And none of the Soul Sagas actually increase the damage of, or sorry, the duration of the circle. There is a duration, increase the duration of his buff, but not the circle itself. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about Johnny Storm, Human Torch in general. When it comes to Invisible Woman, well, I'm not pulling for her, so I can't really comment on this. But I just wanted to do this video to kind of share with you guys, you know, my thoughts on the Human Torch, especially as he's like a free-to-play alternative. I'm gonna say alternative, like if you decide to use him or not. Yeah, I guess the best way to put it is that he is a poor man's Storm, and most people are getting Storm anyways for free, right? They should, unless they stop doing that. But when I started playing the game, you know, Storm was a 7-day login, so I would use Storm first. And the other thing what I don't like is that Human Torch is also a striker, special striker. So in some ways that he's actually competing for the same gear that you would apply to Storm. So like I said, I've said this before, that I normally share Storm and Scarlet Witch the same highlight and the same artifacts because I never use them both on the same team. So normally I would just, you know, this, which is the Scarlet Witch highlight, I understand it's not for Storm, but I do like the 25% crit rate, and I don't have the buff stuff, right? That's for Scarlet Witch. So it's just because I don't want to level up another one. And the next best one for Storm would be Friends on the Street, or sorry, yeah, Friends on the Street. This one here, which deals additional damage to debuffed enemies. But I just don't want to level up another striker highlight at this time. That would also, you know what? This would actually be good for Human Torch as well, when you don't have that highlight that's available to him. I don't know, maybe I just, you know, obviously it's new, it's early, I haven't had a lot of time to play with them, maybe there's not a lot of content where I need to really justify using them either. But like I said, that Soul Saga upgrade here, this really shouts PvP to me, but maybe I'm just misunderstanding where that would be used. I don't think there's a lot of need to reduce PvE enemies healing. I think this is something maybe in the works that we'll use later on, but that's just my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.
And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.